Hey, have you ever struggled to find a really great VA, and when you did find one, struggled with trusting them to actually get the job done? I know I have. It took me 3 years of hiring VAs and not really knowing what to do with them, and when I finally did, not really sure if I could give away the stuff that I felt like only I could do to them. In today's episode, we're talking with Trivinia Barber of Priority VA, and she's gonna talk about how to find, hire, and train great VAs, as well as how to trust them so you can grow your business faster. If you want more great videos on this subject, just hit the like button, and let's get into the interview. When is kind of the appropriate time, or when should entrepreneurs be thinking about hiring a VA?
Yeah, I think obviously there's like some revenue markers, I think, that indicate that you can afford one. But assuming that that is not an issue, that you're actually creating revenue in your business, I think you need to hire a VA 6 months before you think you need one. And the reason I say that is because I was just at an event in Carmel last week with a bunch of entrepreneurs making 7, 8 figures in their business. And we were talking about the impact that an assistant has had on their lives. And the one thing I heard consistently was like, I should have done this years ago, you know?
Right.
And I think we always think as entrepreneurs that we can muscle through, you know, we can bootstrap this thing and do it all by ourselves. But the truth is we shouldn't do it alone, and we can scale and grow a lot faster if we bring those people alongside us that can do the things we're not good at.
Right. And that actually reminds me, because I know for me personally, when I did hire a VA, or when I finally pulled the trigger to hire a VA, I wasn't exactly sure what to give them to do, and how to actually like get this stuff off my plate and how to utilize them. So what are some of the big things that hold people back from actually utilizing the VA once they hire them?
Yeah, I mean, I think that really depends on the person, but I'd say pride, you know, and I say that jokingly, but there is definitely, I think, a measure of truth to that. As entrepreneurs, I think we're super proud of what we've created, but that leaves us like holding on to it with this iron fist, right? Of like, we're not going to let go. We're afraid to trust someone with our baby, you know, with what we've created and in our minds. And I think there is definitely some truth to this, but no one is ever going to care as much as you do about your business, whether that's a paid position or a partner. We have a business coach. My husband and I co-founded our business together. And my business coach says, even your husband isn't going to care about your business as much as you do, because it's my baby, right? And so I think pride can prevent us from releasing things, because that's really what has to happen if we're going to be successful. We have to let go, and we have to, I always say, outsource outcomes, not tasks. And if you're outsourcing the outcome of something, that's a little bit intimidating and scary. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that prevents people from maximizing what a VA can do for them. If we can overcome that, right? And if you know that you're matched with, or you're connected with a partner virtual assistant that is going to care, you just got to know they're not going to care as much as you, but they're going to care. They're really invested in the outcome, and that you can trust them. Then you're going to hand that baton over to them, right? You're going to take it so far. And then at some point you've got to pass that baton to them. And if you know you got someone that's going to run with it, then I feel like that's when magic can happen in business. That's when you can scale from maybe before you've even hit 6 figures and jump to high 6 figures, you know, close to 7. And you can do that quickly if you've got a team that you can trust, employee or otherwise, right? We have to be working with people we can trust. And the virtual world, I think, can make that a little bit scary for people, but you just got to dive in and do it. I have this sort of visual, and you're a parent, so this will make sense to you. I'm a mom of 4 children, and so a lot of my analogies are around my children. But if you think of when your kid was learning how to ride a bike, right, and you're like holding onto the back of the seat for them because you're scared, you don't want them to fall, and you know that they need that comfort of knowing you're there. That's really what I call a helicopter parent, right? And so there's that parent that hovers. They never want their kid to fall, or oops, they don't want them to spill something or whatever, right? And that's really just a reflection of them. They don't want to be seen as a bad parent. They don't want to be seen as like maybe having a misbehaving child or whatever. Well, I think we can do that in our businesses too. We become these helicopter CEOs where we're so nervous that something's going to fall, that there's going to be spilled milk, that someone might mess something up. And so if you can put that visual in your head, and knowing, like, especially if you have kids, I had to let go of the back of the seat. And my kid did take off on the bike, and yes, they fell, right? But they got back up on the bike after a few times. It's great. And the same thing is true with building a virtual team. There will be mistakes. they will fall and scrape their knee. And you as the business owner are gonna have to come over, pick them up, have a little discussion, right? Dust them off and off they go again. And if you look at it like that and you really envelop that role as a leader in your business, then that becomes less of a challenge for you. You just know this is my role as the founder of this company. And I think, not that we want to treat our team like children, but if you look at it that way, it will help you understand that there's going to be mistakes and you just brush them off and carry on. It's okay.
That's so true, because I know for me, like when we were going through this time, I had to go through those same mistakes and kind of telling myself that it's okay that they fail. Maybe it's going to be rough for a small period of time. I might lose clients, but when you think about it from the long-term perspective, you're not going to be able to break through that glass ceiling if you don't do that, if you don't give that trust to your team and to your VAs. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that it's true. Again, kind of going back to this event that I was at last week, it's about expectations too. Where I led a session there where we were talking about outsourcing and virtual support. And one of the gentlemen said, you know, what do you do when, you know, I give my VA tasks and out of 80 times, she'll do it right and it'll be done perfect or whatever. But then she does it wrong one time and I lose my crap. And I thought, ooh, like, do you do things right at 100% of the time, right? But if you look at it through that lens of like, I'm not perfect 100% of the time, so why would I expect my team to be? So manage expectations, communicate those expectations with your team, your VA, and then assess them periodically, right? Like, does it make sense that you would still expect the VA to be operating in this capacity when you went from maybe a $30,000 launch in your business to now you're doing $1 million launch? Well, the game changes a little bit, right? So you can't expect them to behave the same way as your business grows and scales either. So expectations are key, I think, to any successful relationship, you know, virtual or otherwise.
So kind of peeling back a little bit. So we know when we should hire a VA, and we've started to get over the mindset of, can I trust myself and the VA to do the work? What are some of the key skills, attributes, personality traits that we should be looking for in a VA when it comes to that time to find one and hire one and bring one onto the team?
Again, it's going to be different for everyone, but what I walk my clients through when I'm working with them, I like to put this in 4 columns, right? The things that the client doesn't know how to do, the things that they don't have time to do. This is stuff that they probably know how to do it, but it always is on the back burner, right? They might even enjoy doing it. Or the things that they just hate doing. For me, this is anything with finance and accounting. Like, yes, I can do it, but I want to gouge my eyes out, right? So that, and then really the 4th column is things that only they can do. You are the only one, Phil, that can like hit record on this podcast and make it actually happen. You can't outsource that, right? But everything after you end this session can be outsourced, except for the intro and outro, correct? And so that's what I like to have people do. And so in each column is different for everyone. When they're thinking about what they're going to outsource, I feel like the things that can save you the most time are the things that really suck up the most of your day. So for a lot of entrepreneurs, it is their email, it is their calendar management, it is their sort of life tasks that they always feel, I have to be the one answering this email. Well, it's just not true. We can set up field guides that would give a virtual assistant really a roadmap of how you really would engage with your customers or clients. You know, we can set up all of these different things for them so that they can be successful. Other tasks would be those that are more technical. So maybe you're a business coach or you're a photographer or something like that. And you take great pictures, or you can help get people through the finish line and changing their life and their mindset, but you have no idea what ClickFunnels is and you don't want to know, right? And so those are the other types of things. I see two very different types of outsourcing in my business. Either the more traditional, very executive assistant, run my calendar, my life, make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to, or the techie side, the automation, the funnels, things like that. So very different skill set, very different person.
Okay, so you've hired people. You're looking for those people who have matched that core values and that core integrity of your business. What's kind of your onboarding process, or do you have a recommended onboarding process that you put your new VA through in order to kind of bring them up to speed and quickly, as well as, you know, get them integrated into the culture of your business?
Yeah, for sure. So I think the simplest way to do this is to use a tool like ScreenFlow or Viewed or Loom or whatever, and just record some videos for them. Talk about culture. I say record videos because for me, it's the easiest way for me to disseminate information. I don't have to sit there and type and think. I can just kind of ad lib and talk to them about who you are, why you started your business, right? If your VA or your team can understand your why, I promise you, they will be more invested in working hard for you and kind of taking that call at 3 a.m. when your flight is canceled and you need somebody to figure it out, right? They're going to be more invested in that. So explain to them your why, explain to them the culture of your business. And a lot of people are like maybe not sure that they have a culture. And I say, yes, you do. You have it day one, right? Whether or not maybe you're super cool and laid back and fun, or maybe you were like always blowing deadlines because you're just like running around like a chicken with your head cut off. That you're establishing culture in your business. And so it's important that before you have a team that you recognize that and outline what you want that culture to look like. Share that with your team. Talk to them about your values all the time, because if you never have told them that service is a key value for you, right? And then they're sort of missing the mark, creating an imaginary finish line for them that they don't even know is there. And so communicate those values to them. I put those videos on, we have a lockdown website, and they get a password once they join our team, and they get to go through all those videos, and it tells me whether or not they watch them, right? So I'm able to know, are they actually following through? We talk to them. I give them samples of how I want them to talk to my customers. How, you know, because I'm not, dear Mr. Jones, you know, I'm like, hey Bob, how you doing? Because that's my culture, right? And so we set that tone for them so that they really understand. And I think that that is a simple, you could do that in 15 minutes, just pop it on a website, and your new team members can really kind of start to understand who you are and how you want your business run. That's the best onboarding thing you can do right from the get-go.
So thanks for watching. Just leave a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you and what your struggles on hiring and using VAs are. Also, if you want to learn more about Trivinia and her business and perhaps see how she can help you, just check out the description below. We've got all the details for her website, and she's got something really special that she's created just for you. Just click the link below that we've included in the description. If you want to get more great videos just like this one, just click the good old subscribe button down below. If you haven't done it already and you like this video, just click the little like button down below as well. Now we're on a mission to double 100 businesses by 2020, and if you would like to be one of those, just go to liftmedia.co/audit and we'll jump on the phone, we'll talk about your business, we'll see where we can help. Thanks for watching, and check out this next video.